All right, guys. I was going through all my videos, and I don't have enough to complete part four. Um, Part four would have been the really exciting part. It would have been the accident that happened towards the end of the ride. Um, it's probably best that I didn't get the video. I've been reliving the accident over and over and over and over again in my head. Basically, what happened is I'll try to find another section of the trails we were on and post a video or an image of the embankment I went over. Pretty steep embankment. Wasn't a sheer cliff, but it was about a 60-foot drop before it leveled um, off into the woods. And I have a broken arm because of it. Didn't know I had a broken arm. Took me 3 days to realize after I got back that it was a broken arm. The brute and I went off the trail. Um, it rolled on top of me, forcing my left arm into the ground, and then rolled over top of me and proceeded on down to the bottom, about 150 to 170 feet off the trail. I will post another video on all my recovery gear. Shout out to Maritimer ATV. I'll post his link in the video of all the gear, but because of him, I was prepared for every situation, all the way from a first aid kit to take care of any scrapes, bruises, or scratches, whatever, Yeah, had all that in my storage box, which, by the way, took a good brunt of the roll, and we now have a hole in the box. Other damage done to the brute was, you really can't tell, but this footwell right here is, there's a center support that goes from front to back. It has bent, and then the plastic itself is cracked. I have a new plastics on the way. Damage to the front end where it flipped. Pretty much saved my handlebars was the high lifter radiator relocate kit. This is a what do you want to call it? You want to call this a rack extender, front rack extender. This is, I believe, a universal model by Quad Boss, I believe. I purchased the bike, sorry, not bike, but quad, with this already on. They are hard to come by, and either I'm going to try to fix this one, which is kinked and bent pretty well right here. But that was pretty much the damage. In part 3 of the videos, if you go back in time, I'll post a link. You'll see where the front tire fell off. Now, it looks a little funny now because I had to take the spacer out. This side has a spacer. You can see it, even though it's not straight, the tire comes outside past the fender. This one is tucked back underneath the fender because halfway between Williamson and back to McCar, about 14 miles, about 7 miles into the trip, I went to make a right or left hand turn, I can't remember which, and I felt the front end get loose, like a clanking noise. So I was like, oh my god, I'm here by myself, what am I going to do now? Don't know how I can actually explain it, but I had to take and find a way to get the front end off the ground with a broken arm and pull that tire off, tire and rim, get to the spacer unit, which is actually, I have back here. Hopefully I didn't cover it up, trying to get some stuff out of the box. There's the spacer. wheel spacer. That came loose again from the tumble, and changed all that with one arm. I do want to give a really quick shout out to everybody that was with me during this journey on the trails. Kirk Marchant, good friend of mine. He invited me on the trip. He was invited by the rest of the crew that I'm getting ready to mention. They were all great. There's Ryan and Dee and their son Jake, and then there was Jeff and Eddie. So shout out to all them, because if it wasn't for them, obviously I was not in a state that I could recover the brute by myself. I don't have video, unfortunately. The camera it corrupted data, and or I just didn't capture it. Imagine the views. Anyway, on to bigger and better things. I've ordered a new EPS system for this, because I believe part of this is a power steering problem. I did bypass the Kawasaki electronic brake system, which basically is a motor brake. I didn't like it when I first got it. I bypassed it through Knight's ATV. I think I'm going to take that off for if I'm going to keep riding these type of trails. I believe having the engine brake helped me descend down the hill instead of me actually using the physical brakes, which is what happened. If you can imagine, the trail I went off was to my left, this side, and what happened was the back end of the bike, the brakes grabbed going down the hill and shifted to the right, forcing the nose of the bike to go left. I don't know if I'm doing that right, but anyway, and then pointed me down the hill, and I had enough momentum that I just couldn't stop with all brakes. So being able to descend down the hill slowly with the engine at idle, it's like a Jake brake, I guess you want to call it, like in a tractor trailer. It may have helped. So between my power steering problems, which it kind of works in reverse, it's supposed to be easy to steer it when it's sitting still or slower speeds, and then it's supposed to then dampen anything that happens when it gets faster. It kind of slows down. It does the opposite. It's hard to steer when sitting still, and as you go faster, it's way easy. It's too easy. It works. The EPS works in reverse. But anyway, so I have a new one of those coming. I'm trying to decide whether I want to take the relocate kit off. This is about as much mud as I get. I don't take this thing and try to turn it into a submarine. I don't have a snorkel kit or anything like that. I'm thinking about relocating the radiator back into its natural position behind the grill here, and then maybe adding a storage box on the front of a bike, and or extra gas. I don't know. It'll give me either way. I want more storage up on the front. This time it did save me in the rollover, but you can see it's bent up here, it's bent going across the face of it, and it's bent over here. You can see the impact shifted her this way. So making this video to post for part 4, and apologize that I didn't get the footage. Like I said, if I could plug you all into my head, it would be the accident was on automatic repeat for a while. So I am going to post the stuff that I did get, and did realize that it's not a lot, but it's us getting back in town. It's spotty at best. Try to finish up this video, and I'll let you know when I'm on to my next adventure. Obviously, I got to get the old brute fixed. Oh, by the way, I got a phone holder, and you'll see it in some of my videos. I forget what the name of it is here, but this bad boy, you slide the phone in, clicks. Keep in mind, this machine rolled over probably 3 or 4 times before it came to rest on its side on a tree. And I asked everybody, I was like, man, find my phone. Please find my phone in case, I need to call somebody, all the contact numbers. You guys need to call me if I pass out, whatever. My phone's there. And Kirk ran over and he goes, where's it at? And I said, the last time I saw it, it was on the holder. And he goes, oh my God. He goes, you're not going to believe it. It's still in the holder. So I'll post a link to where I got that. It clamps right onto your handlebars. I believe they do have an option for wireless charge. You can power it and charge your phone. I'll have to double check on that, but I'll post the link of what I actually got. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. Oh, wait a minute. I just noticed my chainsaw holder got a little bent. That bracket right there is supposed to be flat. That's easy. That's an easy fix. Definitely an easy fix. Sorry, I've been in my trailer and getting into things and finding things, and it's kind of a mess. It was hard for me to get around the first couple weeks. I'm about the 3rd week in from the trip, so it's taken me a while to get into the videos and get healed up. I've had a huge road rash down my left side under my arm, and I've been one giant ball of big nerve endings. So bruised to my core internally. Thought really close to feeling like there's broken ribs, but there wasn't. I'll have all the x-rays. Maybe I'll post the x-rays so you can see the break and everything else. But oh, Odin, hello. You coming in? Is it raining out here? It's raining. You coming in? No? What do you think? I think you found a napkin and tore it up. So anyway, I'm gonna get out of my trailer here. But like I said, stay tuned for the next adventure. I don't have that many followers, but man, tell the story. Tell them I got videos. Tell them to like and subscribe. Sorry, it just went dark there. Door was closed. But talk to y'all later. Have a good one. Out.
Yeah, I'm still taking it easy though.
Shaking it all?
What's that?
Shaking it all?
I keep testing it, but I'm still taking it easy.
Yeah.
We're running 3 studs instead of 4.
Okay, so I didn't capture the accident. I didn't record any of it. Kind of glad I didn't. I've been living it over and over in my head forever. So unfortunately, you guys cannot see what happened. But I did want to finalize this video with everything that I carry. There's things that I will add, but as of right now, I carry a lot of recovery gear. First, I don't have here because it's in the house is my 300 piece first aid kit. So with that being said, always carry first aid. 2, this is a retractable towing strap. Goes back, but that's a nice piece of gear to have. Then I have my tree strap / towing strap. It comes with 2 nice shackles that I haven't used yet. I also have a snatch block that I use. Haven't used it yet, but it's nice to have. This is a heavy duty one. I also have a soft shackle snatch block. So this is brand new, has never been used, but as you can see, maybe the holes are worn in it from using it, or not using it, but being in my storage box. Storage box was damaged. I think I showed that at the beginning of this video. So that's the gear I carry for that. I do carry a small assortment of zip ties. I also have big zip ties. You never know what you may need to strap down. So they're nice to have, inexpensive. You can get those at Harbor Freight. Always carry a knife. I usually have a knife on me on my side. I actually lost it during the accident. One of the only things I lost. Tools. I have, please don't fall. I have standard and metric Allen wrenches. I'll get to this stuff over here in a minute. I have my spanner wrenches that I can adjust the spring load on my shocks if I need to. So I carry those with me. Sorry. Actually, there's one that's in my old box, storage box, the one that's damaged, which is the actual one I need, but I always carry these with me just in case somebody out on the trail is in need of assistance and needs a spanner wrench. I then have it. I have my toolbox, ratchets, and sockets. I actually used this ratchet, which was not big enough, but did get my wheel back on when I lost it. That is also in part 3. A light, headlight. If it gets dark, you're out on the trail, you need a light, walk around, whatever. I have a small hammer if needed. So those are my tools. Sorry, Odin is barking in the background. So we'll put all those, the tools, there. I always carry duct tape. Doesn't matter what color. These just happen to be camo. We've gone through the snatch blocks. I carry a couple sets of gloves, a leather pair, and then I have a set of waterproof neoprene. These are actually fishing gloves with finger spots. I carry covers for my feet, whether I'm wearing my boots or sneakers or whatever they're riding, wherever I'm riding or whatever I'm riding. The only reason they're dirty is because a little bit of mud and water got in the box when I rolled it. I always carry, sorry for the damaged packaging, but this is a brand new CVT belt. I always carry an extra. A tubeless tire repair kit, always nice to have. They're pretty inexpensive. With that, when you're out on the trail and you have a flat, you may need a air pump. In my air pump, I also have as a patch kit. It is a glue tread. I'll post it. This has been kind of damaged, but brand new. This will patch a puncture and a sidewall puncture, if not even a slice. They pretty much guarantee it, if you use it correctly and per their specifications, to last the life of the tire. So that's a nice thing to have. And then I have my battery booster, charger, jump starter system here. Compact, nice, easy. Actually, when I lost my stator last year at Hatfield McCoy and couldn't ride, this ended up getting me back to camp. The battery had totally died. The stator wasn't charging it. I didn't know that was the problem at the time until a day later. But hooked that up to the battery, sat it under the seat, was able to ride back to the campsite. This stuff here is just my camera gear, selfie stick for the Insta360s, another selfie stick. It's a very long one, so I can get really nice 360 shots or camera shots that are high up. I do have my drone as well. That is in my truck because I used it the other day. That is also in my kit. I have a wireless winch control, which is nice to have, especially if you're by yourself and you don't necessarily need to be on the bike to winch yourself out. These are nice to have. I have two of these. This is the spare. Things that we used the toolbox to replace the tire before the accident in video 3. Didn't videotape all that. You never think about these type of things in an emergency. I use the tree strap in that video. You'll see that part with the winch, and we actually winched it across the trail to a tree, then raised the tree saver, the tree strap, to a higher elevation, and then lifted the front end of the bike, used that to so I don't have to carry a jack. I also had to do the same thing after the accident because I drove the brute force, which was still drivable after the accident, from the town of Williamson back to Matewan, actually across the Tug River, just on the other side where the campsite was. But halfway there, the rollover had loosened the front again. Once again, this didn't tighten everything as tight as it should have been, and I had to take the wheel off, lift it up. I found a fence alongside the road, a steel link fence and a chain link fence, and used the winch in the same manner. Luckily, there was a small tree in front of where I was winching up, so I used that to not damage the fence. The tree got a little messed up, but it was a tiny little tree, and most likely served its purpose for me. Sorry to damage that tree, but once again, one arm, didn't know it was broken, knew it was sore, very sore, never had a broken arm or bone, and did the same thing with the winch, lifted it up, pulled the tire off, actually removed the spacer, which was the main problem. I have 2-inch spacers going all the way around, extending my wheelbase outwards for more stability. Took it off and continued the ride into town. We used my winch and the strap again to get me out of the 60-foot drop off. I don't know what Odin is going back and forth about. There's nobody outside, but he thinks he's probably deer out in the front yard, so he's probably barking at them. But I had all the gear to get us out of the situation. I want to say that I follow Maritimer. He's on YouTube. He actually, without knowing it, got me back into riding four-wheelers and going out and doing things, camping and things like that because of his videos. But in his videos, he also does he does 3 or 4 videos of things he carries, whether it be for camping, first aid, recovery gear, things that you should carry at all times. Mostly everything. I don't have everything he has posted, but everything that I thought was important to me at the time is here. Like I said, this stuff Over here is just extra camera gear that I carry. Once again, the drone box would sit here as well. So all this stuff goes in my storage box on the rear, which I'm taking off this week because I have a new one. And I will post the videos of everything I'm doing. For the bike, I'm relocating the radiator relocate kit, taking it off and putting the radiator back underneath. I don't do any deep water or mud riding, so I don't necessarily. I just do a lot of trail riding. So the little bit of mud that I do get up on the radiator, I think I can take care of and keep that clean, keep it from overheating. Obviously putting the new used storage box on, pretty much the same design, other than it has bars on the top that I can strap things to, which is really nice. I'm putting in a new EPS system because I believe that's a problem and has been. And since I'm doing work on getting the radiator in, I'm going to pull the covers off. And while I have them off, I'm going to put the new, EPS actuator in. The other thing I'm doing is I'm taking off the Kawasaki electronic brake system. I had a bypass. Actually, not taking that off. I'm putting it back. I bought a bypass from Night ATV. I didn't like it when I first got it, but I feel that if I would have had not bypassed the system, the electronic braking system would have slowed me down and I wouldn't have been on the brake as much, which is why I got into the accident. I wasn't going fast. I wasn't doing anything stupid. I just hit a flat, hard surface, a rock per se, that was as wide and as deep as, or, the length from front to back as the brute force was. And when I hit that, the tires were wet from going through mud. But holding the brake, the rear brake kicked or locked up and kicked the rear end to the right, forcing me to the left, which was where the 60-foot drop was. Tried to steer into the skid, and the front brake also, not me knowing, was also locking up. I was very close to the edge, and so I plowed over the edge. If I wouldn't have been using my brakes at all, I would have had full control, and the motor would have been slowing me down instead of the brakes. Once again, played this over and over and over in my head, and these are things I'm going to change on the bike. I'm actually, with the radiator relocate kit, I'm going to put a front storage box on for other gear. I'm going to end up getting a cordless impact for taking the tires off and on. You never know. That extra torque may have helped, and I may not have had to change the tire halfway back to town. But anyway, all things, there'll be a list of things that I used, and then later on, as I add things, I will make another video like this. But sorry I wasn't looking at the camera the whole time, but thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this 4-part trip, and I'll try to do better in the future. Thanks again. Like, subscribe. If you don't like, make a comment. Tell me what I should do better, what I should try to do. Everything's welcome. And if this is the first video you're watching, I'll leave links to the other 3 videos, and you can go back in time and watch how I got to this point. Anyway, I have another 3 to 4 weeks with a soft cast on with my arm. I did break it, and I'm feeling a lot better than I did the first part of the after this happened. So the first 3 days were, I didn't move around much. I got very stiff and sore very quickly. So it took me about 2 weeks to recover from that and get back to where I can get around and pick things up and do things. So thanks again, guys. And that'll be it. Have a good one.